It was a bright, cheerful morning, and Munchy the raccoon padded happily down the street, his paws light and his tail swishing with excitement. Today wasn't just any ordinary day, it was a very special one. It was Munchy's very first day at his brand new job. Now, Munchy had never worked a single day in his life before, so he had no idea what being an employee really meant. But what he did know was that he was full of enthusiasm and bubbling with curiosity to find out. He was eager to learn and couldn't wait to begin. When Munchy had been thinking long and hard about what sort of job might suit him, he remembered something everyone always said. If you choose a job you love, it will never feel like work at all. The idea of that made Munchy's little ears perk up. So he thought about what he loved most. He sat quietly, trying to decide. As he pondered it, his stomach gave a little growl, and his thoughts drifted straight to what he planned on having for lunch. And suddenly it hit him. The thing he adored above all else was eating. Eating, munching, nibbling, gobbling food. Glorious food. So clearly, whatever job he chose, it had to be something connected to food. And that was when he spotted the most perfect advertisement taped up in the window of a shop. Hell wanted at Mia and Marcello's Pizzatopia. Munchy's eyes sparkled with delight. Could there be anything more ideal? He loved pizza more than almost anything else in the whole wide world. It didn't matter to him whether it was topped with mushrooms, olives, pineapples, or fiery chili peppers. Munchy would devour it all happily, without complaint. Mia and Marcello's Pizzatopia had been running for a couple of years, and the two who owned it had earned themselves quite the glowing reputation. Word on the street was that their pizza was some of the best anyone had ever tasted. Munchy had heard plenty of stories about it, but he hadn't yet been lucky enough to try it himself. He secretly hoped his new role might include a little taste testing along the way. And so, on this bright morning, with his first workday stretching out in front of him, Munchy trotted giddily all the way to the pizza shop, humming with anticipation. Hacia arriba, the large red sign above the shop door gleamed in the sunlight. Peeking through the window, Munchy could see Mia and Marcello already bustling behind the counter, busy taking orders. Taking a deep breath, Munchy stepped inside and called out brightly, "Hello Mia, hello Marcello. I'm here for my very first day." Marcello the frog looked up from behind the counter, his small, beady eyes blinking with sudden recognition. His mouth curled into a wide grin beneath his curly red mustache, and in a strong Italian accent he croaked, "Ah, Benna, you are here at last. Mia, Mia, the raccoon has arrived." From the back of the kitchen, out padded a tall, graceful Italian greyhound with a soft blue tint to her sleek fur. She wore a neat purple hairnet that covered her floppy ears, and her eyes sparkled with warmth. This was Mia, the one who had interviewed Munchy for the position. She approached with a gentle smile. "Welcome, Munchy," she said kindly. "It is so lovely to see you again. Are you ready to begin?" Munchy's striped tail twitched excitedly, and he nodded his head so quickly he almost toppled over. Mia chuckled and guided him through into the back of the shop. The pizza kitchen was already buzzing with energy. The large wood-fired oven glowed warmly, with flames dancing as pizzas sizzled inside. A long wooden counter dusted and flowers stretched across the room, with circles of dough already laid out, waiting to be transformed into delicious creations. Buckets and bowls filled with toppings and sauces lined the opposite side of the worktop, each one bursting with color and tempting aromas. As Mia gave Munchie his tour, Marcello scurried about, answering the constantly ringing phone and jotting down orders. Business was booming, and there wasn't much time for a gentle introduction. Munchie would have to learn quickly, right in the middle of the action. Before long, Marcello came waddling over on his lanky frog legs, a slip of paper flapping in his hand. He slapped it dramatically onto the counter. "Ere is your first order. Il bambino," he announced grandly, twirling the ends of his mustache. "One pizzaluna, with a side of mozzarella sticks." "Oh, very cheesy." Mia giggled with a knowing smile. "And very delicious," Marcello added proudly, before dashing back to the front as the phone began ringing once again. Mia pinned the order up on the board above the counter, then turned to Munchie, who tilted his head curiously. What exactly is a pizzaluna?" he asked. Mia's eyes lit up with excitement. She rubbed her paws together and whispered as if sharing a great secret. "It is one of our most special creations. The cheese we use comes from the moon." Munchie's jaw dropped. "Moon cheese? You actually use moon cheese?" Mia nodded solemnly. "Yes, but only for the pizzaluna. For every other pizza, we use good, traditional Earth cheese. That is what makes the pizzaluna so unique." Munchie's whiskers twitched in amazement. He had heard tales of moon cheese before, but had never been lucky enough to try it. This was going to be an adventure, and so, with Mia's guidance, Munchie began to prepare his very first pizza. Munchie picked up the ringing phone, cleared his throat, and answered in the cheeriest, most polite voice he could muster. "Hello? You've reached Mia and Marcello's pizza. How may I help you today?" he said brightly. There was a pause on the other end, then a familiar slow drawl replied with puzzled amusement. "Munchie? Is that you?" Munchie's ears perked up instantly. He recognized that voice right away. "Hi, Munchie exclaimed with delight. It was none other than his good friend Slow-Mo, the sloth. Mo chuckled, his laugh long and lazy. "Hey, what are you doing? Answering phones at a pizza shop?" Beaming with pride, Munchie explained. "I work here now. Today's my very first day." Mo was impressed and even more excited when he realized he could order his dinner directly from his best friend. He slowly placed his order, an eggplant pizza with an extra helping of gooey cheese. Munchie carefully wrote the details down on his notepad and handed the slip of paper to Marcello, who had been observing from the side with his mustachioed grin. Marcello whisked it over to Mia, who was busy in the kitchen preparing dough. "Your pizza will be ready in 20 minutes. Mo," Munchie said into the receiver. Just as he was about to hang up, his friend's slow, drawling voice called back. "Munchie, may I ask you a favor? At my sloth speed, it would take me a long time to reach the shop. Could you maybe have it delivered to my tree instead?" Munchie's eyes widened. "Delivery?" He wasn't sure if that was something they did. He turned quickly toward Marcello and Mia. Can Mo get his pizza delivered?" he asked hopefully. Marcello waved a hand and called back. "But, of course, for Slomo, we always deliver." Overjoyed, Munchie relayed the news. His friend thanked him warmly before hanging up to wait. Mia worked quickly, preparing the eggplant pizza with a generous layer of extra cheese. Soon, the golden pie was ready, tucked neatly into a box, and the aroma of bubbling cheese drifted into the air, making Munchie's nose twitch with longing. Slow-mo was one lucky sloth. But then, to Munchie's surprise, Marcello presented him with something unexpected, a red and white striped motorbike helmet. "What's this for?" Munchie asked curiously. Marcello smiled and dangled a pair of keys. "Here is the 4D. Today you will deliver Slow-mo's pizza. Take the pizza mobile outside, Jewel. Arrive in no time." Munchie's eyes lit up with excitement. Outside, parked by the shop, gleamed a shiny red and white mope. He clapped his little raccoon paws in glee, strapped on the helmet, and carefully placed Slow-mo's pizza into the delivery bag on the back. Climbing aboard, he turned the key. The engine coughed to life with a grumble, the moped humming beneath him. Holding tight to the handlebars, he pressed down on the pedal with one foot and zoom. Off he went, speeding into the heart of sleepy forest. Munchie squealed with delight as the wind rushed past his fur. He hadn't expected to be riding a pizza mobile. Today, what a dream come true. The day was turning out to be better than he could have imagined. He zipped between tall trees, splashed through puddles, and crossed wooden bridges, waving to friends along the way. Animals peeked out in surprise and cheered. "Wow, that's Munchie!" As he whizzed by, Munchie felt like the happiest raccoon in the world. At last, he rolled to a stop at the base of a tall tree. Slow-mo's home. Parking the bike, Munchie carefully pulled out the warm pizza box. Tilting his head back, he called up, "Mo, your eggplant pizza is here." A familiar smiling face peeked down from the branches. "Oh, thank you, Munchie. I can't wait to eat it." Slowly, ever so slowly, the sloth made his way down the trunk, eventually reaching the forest floor. Taking the pizza box into his long, gentle arms, he grinned with gratitude. "Thank you again, Munchie. Would you like a slice as a reward for your hard work?" Temptation tugged at Munchie's tummy, but he shook his head politely. "Not this time, Mo. That pizza is all for you. I'd better hurry back to the shop. They need me there." Mo nodded in understanding, already savoring the scent of his cheesy dinner. Munchie gave him a cheerful wave, then hopped back onto the pizza mobile. As he rode through the forest once more, his friends spotted him again and shouted encouragement. "Go, Munchie, go!" He grinned under his striped helmet, proud as could be. When he returned to Pizzatopia, he burst through the door, ready for the next rush of orders, only to find something unexpected. Mia and Marcello were sitting at the counter, sharing a large pizza between them. "Well done, Munchie," Marcello croaked warmly. "You've done an impressive job today." Mia smiled, lifting the box toward him. "Would you care for a slice?" Munchie's stomach growled loudly, and his eyes widened at the sight of gooey, golden cheese. "Yes, please," he said eagerly, grabbing a piece. He bit into it hungrily. This was one of the best pizzas he had ever tasted. Maybe the best. As he chewed happily, Mia and Marcello chuckled. Even pizza makers need a break, Mia said, handing him another slice. Munchie sighed with relief as he finally sat down, relaxing after such a whirlwind of a day. He was proud of himself. He had learned so much, tried so many new things, and even zipped through the forest on the Pizzamobile. By the time his shift ended, Munchie hung up his apron and set off home with a big smile. The sun dipped low on the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. He glanced back at the glowing sign above the shop and thought with pride, Mia, Marcello, and Munchie's pizza, that has a nice ring to it. Skipping along the path, clutching a little box of Munchies in his raccoon paws, Munchie headed home, his heart as full as his tummy. Sound asleep affirmations. Now, little one, let's drift gently into sleep. Imagine yourself lying safely on your soft, cozy bed. Your body feels heavy, happy, and oh so ready for rest, as though you are floating on calm, rocking waves. These waves are gentle, steady, like your own breathing, in and out, in and out, in and out. Let the rhythm soothe you. Close your eyes. Feel your eyelids grow heavy. Let your whole body melt deeper into relaxation. Your arms are soft and heavy. Your legs and feet, too, are sinking comfortably into the mattress. Take a moment to notice how your body feels. Now, let your mind wander gently, like a little explorer checking each part of a cozy house to make sure all is well. First, feel your breath moving in through your nose, filling your chest and tummy, then gently flowing out again, rising and falling, rising and falling. Now, let your mind travel down your right arm. Notice how heavy it feels. Let it wander slowly into your fingers. Feel your thumb, your first finger, your middle finger, your ring finger, and finally, your little pinky. Rest. Return to your breath. In and out, calm and steady. Then, drift your mind down your other arm. Thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky, each one calm, soft, and heavy. Bring your awareness back to your chest, where your heart beats gently. If you listen closely, you'll hear its message. Every beat says, I love, I love, I love. Every heart in the world whispers that same message, filling the air with love like raindrops, filling a vast, shimmering lake. This lake of love never runs dry. It cannot be emptied. There is always enough. You are loved. Your family loves you. Your friends love you. The animals, the trees, the very earth itself, they all love you too. And you love them back. That's the wonderful thing about love. It only grows the more it's shared. Now imagine worries floating away like balloons, rising higher and higher into the sky until they vanish completely. You are safe. You are peaceful. You are wrapped in kindness. The waves of the lake rock you gently. Your arms and legs feel heavy. Your eyelids too. Your chest rises and falls with each breath. The world is gentle, and so are you. The world is kind, and so are you. The world is loved, and you are deeply, truly love too. There is more love in this world than stars in the sky, more kindness than drops of water in all the lakes and oceans. You are safe, you are happy, you are loved. Good night, little one. Sleep well, sleep deeply, and dream sweetly.